Hey everyone, it is Michelle Badusky. Welcome to my yoga and meditation room. Now, this is a space I developed in my own home so that I could kind of escape and just practice my own yoga and meditation in my own way. Now, if you are new to meditation, you don't need a special space for it. You can meditate anywhere. Just because I have my own dedicated space doesn't mean you need it. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what meditation is and why I practice it and why I think everyone should practice it. Now, I have been a meditator for well over a decade, almost 15 years now. It was introduced to me actually as a practice to reduce my own mental health anxiety. For those of you who know me, you know that I actually was diagnosed with a mental illness almost 20 years ago. And through the years of therapy and different ways of dealing with my anxiety and my depression, meditation was one of the things that works for me. And I didn't even really know at the beginning that that's what it was. So I'm hoping to introduce my meditation practice to you in a similar way. Because as cool as this is, I'm sitting cross-legged. We call this, easy pose, feet in front of each other. I'm up on a bolster. I have my meditation cushions. I even have a mala next to me. This is very used in meditation, very similar to a rosary is in Catholic prayer. But that's not necessary. Meditation doesn't have to be a spiritual endeavor. So whatever you're thinking meditation is, let's talk about it. So have you ever woken up, in the middle of the night or woken up in the morning and had a solution to a problem that you've been struggling with for a long time? Or it's a running joke that, I can't remember this name or I can't remember this answer right now, but it'll come to me at 2:00 in the morning. That's because all of us have a subconscious, and our subconscious works whether we realize it or not. That's why it's called the subconscious. It's working in the background. It's kind of like our brains and our bodies are this huge supercomputer that is constantly working even when we're not aware of it. Now, our subconscious is reacting to all of the problems that we have, all of the things we're trying to figure out. It's reacting and dealing with everything. Now, our conscious is reacting to the things that happen to us every day. We are reacting to the weather, the sound of, our kids calling us. We are reacting to how hot this room is. We're reacting to everything constantly. And sometimes we're so busy reacting to things with our consciousness. We're so busy just being reactive every single day. We're at work, we're answering questions, the phone rings, we're answering that, someone texts us. We're just constantly reacting that we don't have a whole lot of time and energy to dedicate to the real things that are going on deep down inside of us and the deeper things in our lives. Our subconscious is working on those things, but when we aren't aware of it, how can we benefit from that work that it's doing? And that's where meditation comes in. When you wake up in the middle of the night with an answer to a problem or the name of someone you've forgotten earlier in the day, that's because our subconscious was working on it when we were asleep. We finally stopped reacting to everything around us. And in sleep, our subconscious was actually able to kind of take over and say, here is the answer to that problem that you wanted. Now you can pay attention to it because you don't have all this other stimulus coming in. Pay attention to me. I have the answers. Here you go. That's what meditation is. Meditation is just giving ourselves a chance to listen to our subconscious, to listen to what's going on inside of us instead of reacting to the stimulus around us. That's all it is. Now, I tend to meditate in this pose. I like this pose. And I know that it looks kind of uncomfortable when you're not used to it. I'm sitting on a bolster, so my hips are about 4 inches higher than my feet. And I'm leaning forward nice and straight, shoulders above. And I can sit in this position for about 45 minutes is what I like to meditate. And I know that sounds incredibly long and maybe even painful. But you know what? You don't need to do that when you meditate. One of my favorite ways to teach guided meditation is to sit in a comfortable chair. You can do that. Anyone can do that. And we also, if you join us for restorative or hatha yoga, we also practice meditation at the end of it while we lay in shavasana. Shavasana is a yoga pose that's called corpse pose, where we're literally laying on our back like a corpse. Best part of yoga. And we spend about 15 minutes in that position at the end of a really long or a really great yoga session to just stay focused. That too is meditation. So you're probably already meditating without even realizing it. But sometimes the word meditation scares the bejesus out of us because we have visions of monks and chanting and robes and we're going to levitate off the floor. That's not what it is at all. Now, my guided meditations are designed to help you relax, but they're not going to put you to sleep. Actually, falling asleep is one of the worst things you can do in meditation, because meditation is about being mindful. It's about actually exploring that subconscious and letting things come out in the way that they need to come out. So many people who have talked to me about meditation have said, well, I can't stop thinking for that long. That's not what meditation is. Meditation isn't about, having a blank mind. Meditation isn't about not being aware of your surroundings. There are many times, and maybe you can even hear them in the background, my children are upstairs. There are many times I'll be sitting in meditation and one of my kids will come into the room, or my husband will come into the room, not realizing what I'm doing in here. And they somehow seem to think that I'm not aware of their presence. I'm totally aware. I'm just choosing not to react to them. I'm choosing not to let that stimulus in because I want to allow my self-conscious the time to just kind of deal with the things that I need to deal with. And sometimes things come up in meditation, thoughts come into my head or emotions come into my head that I'm not even aware of on that conscious level. And that's kind of the point. It just helps focus me, it helps ground me, and it helps make me realize what's really important in life. Because sometimes when we're reacting to everything, we forget that that's not really the important stuff in life. And having time to sit and meditate and just kind of think and feel about what's really going on here and here and here, it helps in so many ways. Now, there are different types of meditation, and I'm going to explore a whole bunch of my favorites with you. Sometimes we'll do a mantra meditation, whereas we repeat the same words over and over again, which is where I like to have a mala in my hand, but you don't need one, because what I do is every time I repeat the phrase, I just move to another bead. And a mala has 108 beads, so that I go around it once, and when I get back to the beginning, I know that I've done it. So it's not always about sitting perfectly still, although we try to. Because if you're fidgeting in meditation and you're adjusting, again, you're reacting to that outside stimulus. Sometimes I'll be sitting here and my foot will go to sleep, and I'll just be sitting in meditation. I go, oh, my foot's asleep. And then I just keep going with whatever meditation I'm doing. I acknowledge it and I move on. I don't give it the reaction that I would normally outside of meditation, because that again means I'm reacting to outside stimulus. My foot's not going to fall off. I'm not going to die. It's all good. And we move on. So those are some of the mala is one of the ways that we are going to meditate here in the Butterfly Club. The other way is what I call a total body scan. And a total body scan is where we actually just pay attention to our body, our physical body, and what it needs and how it's feeling. This is one of my favorite types of meditation. I love to do that type of meditation at night, or when I'm really feeling stressed or sick or sore or anything like that, because it focuses all my energy on my body, and I feel better, and I never sleep better than I do after a great body scan meditation. So I'm going to walk you through one of those too. We are going to lay in Shavasana, and we're going to do some positive affirmation meditations where we're actually saying wonderful, kind words to ourselves, because too often we have these negative thoughts going through our head, and we're telling ourselves nasty, mean things that we would never say to our best friend, but somehow it's okay to say them to ourselves. So we're going to chase out those negative thoughts with some positive affirmations. And who knows, we may even do some really cool things like a walking meditation, or just some deep breathing focused exercises that I use for meditation that'll help calm you during an anxiety attack or a stressful encounter that you can do anywhere at any time. And maybe I'll even talk my kids into joining us, because I use those same techniques to calm them when they're upset, when they're sick, when they're hurt, or when they're just, getting a little out of sorts. We take a few minutes. So if you ever see any of my kids suddenly look, a little stressed now and go, it's kind of a hand signal that we use to say, breathe and focus. And it's actually kind of funny when you see a 6-year-old out playing and something happens and all of a sudden he goes, that's just one of the tools I use. Who knows? If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, you know what? Try it. What do you have to lose? So I hope you join me and Holly, who loves to sit and meditate. Actually, you'll see her join me for a lot of yoga. I don't know what it is about her and yoga. She likes to walk in and around my body. But hopefully we will see you for some of our guided meditation classes here at the Butterfly Club.